Labour must be credible and electable in order to win back power and realise its high ideals, former PM Gordon Brown has said. Mr Brown said Labour must not become a party of permanent protest. He said he was not attacking a leadership candidate, but some comments appeared to warn against Jeremy Corbyn. Mr Corbyn's team said he was most likely to engage non-Labour voters. The other candidates are Yvette Cooper, Kendall and Andy Burnham. Mr Brown's comments come as a poll suggested Mr Corbyn is considered the candidate most likely to worsen Labour's prospects of winning the next election. Polls also suggest Mr Corbyn is the front-runner in the leadership race. Mr Brown did not use Mr Corbyn's name but made it clear he disagreed with many of his economic and social policies. The former Prime Minister said the UK must continue to build international alliances under a future Labour government. Mr Brown also referred repeatedly to the need for Labour to become more than a party of protest, a criticism that has been levelled at Mr Corbyn. What I am here to say is that the best way of realising our high ideals is to show that we have an alternative in government that is credible, that is radical, and is electable, is neither a pale imitation of what the Tories offer nor is it the route to being a party of permanent protest, rather than a party of government, he said. He went on, "It is not a mistake to want power. It is not a mistake to do what is necessary to get back to power." The former MP also said the party had to offer hope to the public that it could be an alternative government. "I believe that our vote is both a public duty and a sacred trust. It is a public duty because we have got to show that the Labour Party can be at the service of the country and that we can change society for the better in the future," he said. Last week, Mr Brown's predecessor at number 10, Tony Blair, warned that Labour risked annihilation if it elected Mr Corbyn. Strong opposition. A spokesman for Mr Corbyn said he was the candidate most likely to engage with voters beyond Labour's existing supporters, and credibility did not mean signing up to austerity. Ms Cooper said it was no good just being angry at the world if you can't change the world. Mr Burnham said the country needs a strong opposition and Mr Brown and others need to be listened to. Earlier, Ms Kendall insisted she had no intention of stepping aside in the race, with polls suggesting she is lagging behind other candidates. Mr Brown spoke after a Comres study of 2,035 adults in Britain, for The Independent on Sunday and Sunday Mirror, found 31% of those polled thought Mr Corbyn would worsen Labour's prospects of electoral success. Mr Burnham was the poll's least damaging candidate. Conversely though, 21% thought Mr Corbyn would be most likely to boost Labour's chances of winning the next election.